If your mornings feel like a horror movie with eyes burning, limbs heavy, and brain fog thick as concrete, you're not alone. The truth is, you're not lazy or broken. You've just been waking up the wrong way. Millions drag themselves out of bed every day, convinced they need more sleep, stronger coffee, or louder alarms. But in Japan, there's a completely different approach that flips tired mornings into powerful takeoffs. You've probably tried everything to wake up with energy. Alarms that scream, cold showers that jolt, caffeine so strong it should be illegal. You stack hacks on top of hacks, hoping one of them finally makes you feel alive in the morning. But by 8 a.m., you're still walking around like your soul hasn't caught up with your body. That's when the frustration kicks in. You blame yourself. Maybe you're not disciplined enough. Maybe you just don't have that morning person gene. The narrative becomes personal. I'm lazy. I'm not built for this. And that's the biggest lie you've been sold. Because the real problem isn't you. It's your system. In the West, we've glamorized brute force. We treat mornings like a battle to be won. You blast an alarm, slap your face, and dive straight into the chaos, hoping momentum will save you. But in Japan, the mindset is completely different. They design mornings like rituals, not battles, and that design does the heavy lifting. You see, energy doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's cultivated the night before, triggered by environment, and released by specific movements and breathing. There's no negotiation with the blanket, no inner debate about snoozing. The system is so well built that it removes the need for motivation. That's why the problem isn't that you're weak. It's that your process is missing the pieces that actually work. In Japan, the morning isn't just a time of day. It's a system. While many people wake up reacting to alarms, deadlines, and dopamine hits from their phones, the Japanese approach is almost the opposite. Mornings begin with control, not chaos. Even in the busiest cities, people start their day with rhythm, simplicity, and small rituals that activate the mind and body without rushing them into stress. What's fascinating is that this isn't about being a morning person. It's about engineering the environment and routine so that energy happens naturally. A slow breath, a quiet stretch, a cup of tea brewed with presence. These moments seem small, but they anchor the nervous system. They signal to the brain, we're starting fresh, on our terms. That calm entry into the day becomes a serious advantage by midday. Instead of fighting fatigue with force, like chugging caffeine or blasting motivational audio, Japan's approach removes the need for that struggle in the first place. The rituals take over where willpower would normally fail. The bedroom stays minimal. The phone stays out of reach. And because everything is intentional, the mind doesn't resist. It follows. This method isn't about perfection. It's about repetition. And the results speak for themselves. More focus, more balance, and a type of energy that feels earned, not borrowed. You don't have to relocate to Tokyo to experience this. But you do need to stop waking up like the world is already on fire. Once you shift the way you start your day, the rest begins to fall into place. The secret to a powerful morning doesn't start when you wake up. It starts the night before. In Japan, many people treat the final moments of the day as a gentle setup for the next. Whether it's laying out clothes, tidying the space, or simply dimming the lights with intention, the goal is simple: reduce friction. Because when the morning is already halfway prepared, your brain has fewer obstacles to overcome. One practice that stands out is the use of a pre-sleep anchor. This can be as subtle as writing down one intention for the next day or doing a brief breathing routine that signals closure. Some sit in silence for just a minute, letting the mind wind down instead of crashing into sleep. It might feel too simple to matter, but this moment plants a seed. By setting a mental cue before bed, you prime your brain to wake up with direction, not confusion. Most people treat sleep as a shutdown, but in Japanese routines, It's treated more like a software update. Quiet, clean, purposeful. Your body isn't just resting. It's preparing. So when the alarm goes off, you're not starting from zero. You've already got momentum. That shift in mindset, ending your day with clarity, completely changes how the next one begins. If you wake up feeling groggy, unmotivated, or mentally scattered, the problem might not be your alarm. It might be your lack of a nighttime system. And once you experience what it feels like to wake up ready, not rushed, you'll never want to go back to the old way. Before most people even lift their head off the pillow, their mind is already in chaos. Notifications, to-do lists, and yesterday's stress crash in all at once. But in Japanese practice, there's a simple way to block that noise before it starts. It begins with the breath, specifically, deep breathing into the lower abdomen, a place they call the tendon. It's believed to be the body's energy center, where calm and focus are born. The technique is simple. 3 deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth, directed not to the chest but to the belly. This isn't just about oxygen. It's about presence. By connecting to the tendon, you ground your nervous system before your feet even hit the floor. You shift from reactive to intentional, from scattered to centered. It's a reset button built into your biology. This practice is rooted in martial arts, meditation, and even traditional tea ceremonies. It teaches the body that before action comes alignment. And because it takes less than a minute, it's accessible to anyone. No equipment, no schedule, no performance. Just a quiet signal to yourself that the day is beginning, and you are in control of how it begins. Try it tomorrow. Before your brain tells you to check your phone or roll back under the blanket, breathe. 3 full, focused breaths into the tendon. You'll feel the difference almost immediately. Not because the world has changed, but because you have met the morning with clarity instead of panic. Your brain doesn't rely on motivation to act. It relies on cues. In Japan, this concept is woven into how people shape their routines. The environment is treated as a silent partner in behavior. Same table, same cup, same corner of the room. Over time, these small consistencies become triggers. You don't have to think about what comes next. Your surroundings tell you. The morning space is kept clean and intentional. The items you need are already in place. No clutter, no noise, no random distractions pulling at your focus. This is where energy begins to shift. You're not waking up into disorder. You're stepping into a ritual that's been prepared to support you. The brain recognizes the pattern, and without needing to push, you begin to move. In many Japanese homes and workspaces, you'll notice how minimalism isn't just aesthetic, it's functional. It clears visual noise and reduces cognitive load. And more importantly, it trains your mind to associate certain spaces with certain actions. The same way your body relaxes when it hits a bed, it can be trained to energize when you sit at the same morning spot each day. If your environment is chaotic, your routine will be too. But when your space becomes a signal, you stop depending on mood or willpower. Instead of asking yourself, "Do I feel like it?" the space answers for you. You sit down, and the habit starts itself. That's not luck. That's architecture. One of the biggest mistakes people make in the morning is trying to go from 0 to 100. You wake up, feel tired, and think the solution is a full workout, a long walk, or some high-effort routine you don't have the energy for. But in Japan, the secret isn't intensity, it's consistency. And one of their most powerful habits starts with just 1 minute of movement. This rule is simple. The moment you wake up, you move. Not for 30 minutes, not even 10. Just 1. Stretch your arms. Do 10 jumping jacks. Walk around the room slowly. It doesn't matter what you do. What matters is that you teach your body to start. That tiny burst of motion sends a powerful signal. The day has begun, and so have you. It's called kaizen in Japanese culture. the idea of small, continuous improvement. The goal isn't perfection, it's momentum. Because once you start moving, energy begins to build naturally. You don't have to force it anymore. You've removed the hardest part, which is always the first step. And that changes how the rest of your morning flows. Don't wait until you feel ready. Readiness is a trap. Motion creates energy, not the other way around. So tomorrow, before you scroll, before you overthink, just move. 1 minute is enough to break the fog, reset your system, and put you in control. What starts as a small habit becomes the backbone of your energy. The hardest part of the morning isn't waking up. It's deciding whether or not to wake up. That mental back and forth 5 more minutes, maybe just today, I'll start tomorrow, is where most people lose the battle. In Japanese routines, that negotiation doesn't exist. The decision was already made the night before. The morning isn't a debate. It's a directive. This principle shows up in everything from martial arts to morning rituals. You commit once, then follow through automatically. No snoozing, no internal bargaining, just action. And that doesn't mean it's easy. It means the system is built to remove the option of quitting. When your feet hit the floor, the momentum has already been set in motion. One simple way to apply this is to create what's called a commitment anchor. It could be a glass of water placed on your nightstand, workout clothes laid out, or even a written promise taped to the wall where you'll see it first thing. These small triggers remind your brain, we already decided this. We're not reopening the question. The goal isn't to feel like waking up. It's to make waking up inevitable. Discipline is not about pushing harder in the moment. It's about removing the decision altogether. When there's no exit route, action becomes the only path. And once you stop negotiating with your comfort, you start building real momentum. Every morning, you stand at a fork in the road. On one side is the version of you who hits snooze 3 times, scrolls in bed, and spends the day chasing energy you never quite find. On the other side is the version who breathes, moves, and enters the day with calm control. One feels like a blur. The other feels like progress. The question isn't which one you want, it's which one you choose. You might think it's too late or too hard to change, but it's not. It starts with one morning, one breath, 1 minute. The same way the Japanese build discipline quietly, you can build energy intentionally. Not by flipping your life upside down, but by shifting the way it begins. The difference between failure and flow is often decided in the first 5 minutes. Most people will keep choosing the first path. It's easier, at least at first. But easy doesn't stay easy. It becomes exhausting. The longer you delay, the heavier mornings feel. The harder it is to start. The more it feels like discipline is out of reach. But you're not here to settle for that. You're here because some part of you is done feeling tired all the time. So, here's the moment. You either stay where you are, living life one drained morning at a time, or you start doing it differently. Not perfectly, just consistently. The choice is yours, but so are the consequences. If you're done waking up drained and watching your day slip through your fingers before it even begins, then this is your turning point. Because energy isn't a gift, it's a system. And in Japan, that system is built from small, intentional actions that happen before the world even opens its eyes. You've seen the tools. Now it's on you to use them. Not next Monday. Not when life slows down. Now. There are 2 versions of you competing every morning. One who defaults to comfort, and one who defaults to clarity. The difference isn't willpower. It's preparation. No one becomes disciplined by accident. They decide once, then build a routine that removes the decision entirely. That's the path the Japanese follow, and it's the one you can choose too. 1 minute of breath. 1 moment of movement. One clear signal that today, you show up. So if you're serious, Write energy mode on in the comments. Claim it. Make it real. Then send this to the friend who's still saying, "Next year I'll fix my habits," because next year never comes. If they don't see this, they'll stay stuck. But if they do, maybe they'll rise with you. Maybe they'll finally stop sleeping through their potential.